What's going on YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. So we're going to go over those three. And what I want to do is start with Bitcoin here today. We're at a pretty critical area. We're testing that 50 moving average, and it's important, guys. We dropped down below that 50 moving average. It was on February 26th. And since then, we have not back tested it. So in my opinion, it's important that we're back testing it right now. We have to see what we're going to do with it. So far on the 1 day time frame, we've had a short day candle like we basically had yesterday as well. Some of the good positive things that are taking place for Bitcoin, we're still up above this yellow trend line that I've been paying attention to. Also, we're up above our 20 EMA in purple, and we're above our 40 moving average in orange here. And now we're getting squeezed between that 40 and that 50 moving average. So we're going to have to see if we get that next upside break and see if we could test the 200-day moving average, which is going to be at $8,099. So both of those areas we really need to get up above because we've had that death cross take place. So now it's important for us to get up and through that so we don't have to deal with that anymore. But we still have to realize that we do have that downward pressure that's coming on us, because what we would have wanted out of this ascending triangle, and we'll dig in deeper on the 4-hour time frame, what we would have wanted is a really nice strong candle on heavier volume than even what we got, in my opinion. So what we had is a little bit of a throwback, and now what we're trying to do is find a higher low. So we're going to get into all that on the 4-hour time frame, but I wanted to show you these moving averages on the 1 day time frame for Bitcoin. So that's going to be important for us to look at. Right now we're at $7,339. So what we're going to do is go into the 4-hour time frame now, and we're going to take a look at this. So on the 4-hour, what you see here is we had some rejection. It was up around, we'll call it $7,500. So that's going to be the area that we need to get up above. But what we had when we broke out from the top of this ascending triangle here, we had almost like a 5% failure. We went up about 5% here, and I'll show it to you just so you can see. So right up in that range, about 5 to 6%, and then we actually came back and we back tested the top area that we broke out through. So now we're actually consolidating a little bit, and you can see we're almost forming just a tiny little symmetrical triangle. So main thing I'm looking at is to see if we can get up above that $7,500 to make a nice strong move to the upside and maybe challenge that $8,000 region, $8,100. Those are going to be my targets to the upside. If we can get some nice volume coming in. To the downside, we need to hold this yellow trend line. I don't want to start having candle closes below that and start breaking back down through this $7,000 region, because then what that most likely would be is almost like a busted pattern, and we could start falling back down. So it's important for us to stay up above these moving averages, this 50 and this 200 especially, since we had that golden cross there. But the problem is we haven't had that volume that's really pushed us to the upside yet. We've had more volume, but it hasn't been that impressive volume that you would want to see from the bulls to really push that up into those higher regions of, call it, $8,100, because that's how we have to take it, guys. Each time we break up, we have to go up and challenge those resistance areas. If we break through it, we want to turn them to support. So we'd have about $8,061 there, and then it'd be up to around $9,144 is what we're going to look at. Then in terms of the 4-hour time frame, I want to look at a couple indicators with us here. First, we're going to go into our RSI. And our RSI, let me get me out of the way there, is at 64 right now. So stronger, as you can see. But what we want to see are these continued higher lows coming in. And the next thing we need to do is try to challenge up around that 78. But what you could do is also draw a trend line down here that we said we wanted to pay attention to. There's one moment there that we want to pay attention to, and what you can see is we've been fighting along this trend line here. So I want to pay a lot of attention to that as well. But overall, we need more volume if we're going to make a nice strong break to the upside, in my opinion. That's what we need to do. It needs to be decisive, that the bulls are really stepping in and saying, hey, I'm here, and we're going to go to these higher levels. So volumes, tailing off right now, so just be aware of that and be careful. And that's Bitcoin right now, guys, just really consolidating sideways, waiting to see if we can get up above. We can even set an alarm here at about $7,491. We'll put an upside alert in. And I do this on your charts as well. And then to the downside, we'll actually put it right here on this 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So I want to be alerted, and what it does is send me a text message or an email, and then I know which way we're breaking, and then I can reassess the situation. Because right now I've been out. I had a profitable trade on Litecoin, and now I'm just being careful and waiting to see what the next move possibly could be. Because a lot of this time, guys, in this trading space, it's a lot like fishing. You have to be patient. You have to go through those motions of continuously casting, being patient, reeling it back in, waiting for that strike. And sometimes you want to be patient and you want to wait for a nice breakout and confirmation before you just jump into something because you assume it's going to move in a certain direction. So always be careful about that, and being out of the market sometimes is the best thing to do while you're reassessing the situation. So that's Bitcoin. Then we're going to move into Litecoin. You guys get some from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And then Litecoin right now is at about $46.21. And I really want to zoom in here because we had a nice break from this ascending triangle that we were looking at here. We ended up going up about 12%. We've back tested this 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, and now same deal like with Bitcoin. We're forming almost one of these little symmetrical triangles or consolidating sideways. Volume's been tapering down again. The candles are getting very tight, so we're waiting for that next move. Is it going to be that next leg up? It's going to depend on the volume. Right now, the trend is still up, so we want to stay up above this green trend line here. And we want to stay up above the moving averages. We are starting to get a golden cross here of our 50 over top of our 200. But in my opinion, for us to start getting up above where we had, this long leg doji and some other candles up there, a lot of wicks up in here, we need to get up above, we'll call it 46.73, close up above that, and then start getting up to around that $51 region. But still, guys, I'm patient on this. I want to see which way we're going to break right now. I'm a little cautious because, as we know in this space, anything can happen, and we know these moves happen extremely fast when the candles get tight. You can have moves like this that I was blessed enough to catch right up into this region. That was 17%. I ended up getting in at 40.60, and then I think I sold out. It was 46. I have my pad here. 46.02. So I'll show you right where I took my profit. Call it right in this region here, guys. So this was my move. This was my trade right there. That was my profit, about 13%. And that's what I'm looking to take. Remember how I talked about moves like this? Try to capture those. And then a lot of the times you have a sell-off. So that's where I don't stress out. Even if today, I go outside, I mow my yard or whatever, and all of a sudden we pop up to the upside and I miss it, that's okay. I'll look for another coin. I'll look for another move. You got the profit that you took, protect it, and then look for the next one. You can't get upset and you can't FOMO in the space. That's one of the main things. But right now we're just really consolidating sideways. The candles are getting tight. Like I said, upside, we really need to get up above 46.73, then it'd be up to around $51. To the downside, we'll put our alert back at that 41.96, right where we had that original breakout. And sometimes, guys, as I was reading in my it's called Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns by Thomas Bulkowski. I actually have it on my desk right now. And he talks about that all the time, how, you'll have these breakouts and then you can have busted patterns, and then you can fall back through. I mean, there's just so many different scenarios that you can look at. Just like this price after a breakout. I wanted to read this to you. It says, once prices pierce the horizontal resistance line, confirming a breakout, prices move away from the formation. Throwbacks to the formation top are common. So that's why we're putting our horizontal alert right in that area, because a lot of the times you'll pull back onto that before you potentially can move even higher. Goes on to say, if prices continue to climb rapidly, volume will probably remain high. For downward breakouts, volume is high at first and usually tapers off unless the price decline is rapid, in which case volume will probably remain high. So that's something you really want to look at. But it is common, guys, where you can really break out and then you can actually fall back and back test that area. But we're going to have to wait and see. Or we could just be consolidating here and basically settling down before we make that next move up. And that would be us defending roughly around $43.63. In terms of the indicators, if we take a look at our stock RSI, we're down around 12 and 23. We have not got our bullish cross to the upside yet. I've been waiting and looking at that as well. Then I kind of wanted to correlate it with the candles and the volume because I've been trading off the 4-hour time frame, so that's something that I'm looking at. The next one we're going to do is our RSI, relative strength. We are at 68 right now, so we're just a little bit below that overbought condition. But as we know, guys, last time we were up around 90, so we can really get overextended. And that's one of the reasons why I took my profit, was because we were up around 88 or 89, somewhere 86, something like that on the RSI. And I was also seeing this long leg doji candle. So, you know, that's why I'm being patient now, sitting back and waiting for a good opportunity. But, you know, this is starting to curl up a little bit, but it needs to be accompanied by volume. Yet again, I'm going to preach the volume, guys. I would just keep, you know, trying to hammer it home, because that's something I didn't fully understand when I first started trading. And now it's so important. Besides price action, I think it goes price action and then volume and then the candlesticks. In my opinion, that's the most important things to really pay attention to and learn. So that's Litecoin, and then we're going to move on to Ethereum. Take a look at ETH here. And also, guys, right now, you know, cryptos are kind of, they're still so correlated with the stock market. Stock market is up right now. Dow Jones is up 549 points. So that's definitely something we want to pay attention to. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So for Ethereum right now, guys, same thing, lower volume. So we did break out on the 4-hour time frame. We're up above our 200 moving average. We're up even above our 20, our 40, our 50. This purple trend line, we're up above that. So we're definitely in this nice uptrend right now. And if Ethereum is going to make a move, as the candles are getting tighter here, volume tailing off, we're patiently waiting for that move. I believe we could have a shot of coming up here around $204 if it's an upside break or an upside move. To the downside, we need to hold this purple trend line. We don't want to break these higher lows that have been coming in. But Ethereum has more room to run than Bitcoin and a lot of other different coins. So right now I would put overhead resistance, we'd say at about 247. We're just going to work our way down. Then I'd go around 204, and then it's going to be up to where we were before, about $174. So those are going to be the upside targets we need to break up above, consolidate on, move to the next one. So that's 174 upside, 204, and then it's going to be 247, and then to the downside it's holding this purple trend line. Then what I want to do for Ethereum is bounce out to the 1 day. Take a look at this. Now for Ethereum, we're getting directly right to, at this resistance area of $174, we're running into that 50 moving average, which we have not been trading up above since about March 7th. So that's something we want to be aware of, because a lot of the times when you're looking for that next upside break, you don't want a lot of overhead resistance around, because that can cause those throwbacks. So whenever you pump up and you have that retracement, that's a throwback, and vice versa for a pullback. So this is something we're going to be looking at as well, this 50 moving average. So guys, that's what I'm looking at here for Ethereum. I just want to bounce back to the 4-hour one more time, see if I see anything different. No, just really watching that volume, watching these candlesticks. We did get a bullish engulfing candle here on the 4-hour. Had a little bit more volume with it as well. Didn't get a lot of follow through. So we almost had a little double top there on the 4-hour time frame. So that's something we're going to be aware of. But overall, guys, that's what we're looking at. We're just going to see if we can get that next little pop. The candles are tight, and remember, whenever the candles are tight, that means a break's going to be coming. So, you know, guys, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Didn't want to make it too long, but same deal. You know, this is breaking out of one of those ascending triangles, made its nice little move to the upside. Now we just have to see where it's going to continue. You know, in my book, Chart Patterns by Thomas Bulkowski here, Encyclopedia, goes through everything. I'd really suggest this book if you guys don't have it. Triangle shape, horizontal top line, and it'll go through all this, all the characteristics, like for the ascending triangle, upsloping bottom trend line, crossing pattern, volume, premature breakouts, price action after breakouts. It actually has probably about 27 pages just on ascending triangle. So there's so much that you can get into, guys. But you know, that's what I'm looking at now. I'm just patiently waiting. I'm out of the market. I'm going to see which way we move next, and I want to see it on volume, and I'm probably going to be stocking it on the 1 hour time frame for Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Those are the ones I'm really going to be looking at. So just want to put this out there, guys. If you get some from these, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me. And for the people who are still here, if you guys could say a prayer. My dad's cancer came back, and we're just praying for him that he's going to be able to deal with all this. And also my wife, she's a nurse, so she's actually at work today, and she's on the front lines, and she's had 9 people from her floor alone, co-workers, get the infection that's going around. So, you know, guys, if you could really say a prayer for us, and I'm greatly immunocompromised with the disease that I deal with, so we just got a lot going on. But if you guys could say a prayer, for our family, I would really appreciate it. So let me know down below what you guys are doing. Are you in this right now? Are you sitting back? Are you waiting for the next move? You know, are you out in cash like me, just waiting to see what happens, and then I'm going to react to it? What's your game plan, guys? Let me know. Appreciate it. Take care.